Today on Sea Smoke, we're cooking up pork chops.
And a side dish, we're making French onion rice.
Hopefully it don't rain on us.
It is side dish time today. We're going to do a new recipe that I've never tried, but I've had it for just a little while and I've been dying to try it. I've seen this recipe and it states you can do it in a slow cooker or you can bake it in the oven. I figured, hey, how can I make it better? I'm going to try and do it on the grill. Because what do I say? I believe if you can do it on the stove or do it in the oven, I believe you can do it on the grill. So we're going to do a French onion rice dish. And we're going to assemble it. Then we're going to go put it on the smoker. So I have a regular cup of white long grain rice. And as you know, when you make rice, you got to have 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of liquid. So here's my 1 cup of rice. And instead of doing 2 cups of water like you normally do, the recipe calls for a can of French onion soup, which we have here. We're going to add that in. It also calls for a can of mushroom soup, which I'm going to add. And just to give it a little more mushroom flavor, I have some leftover mushrooms I had in the refrigerator, so I'm going to use those also. That way I can give it a little more mushroom flavor and I can use some of my leftover items. I'm going to also put a little bit of fresh minced garlic in here. Woo! Almost thought I couldn't get that open. And you can put as much garlic or as least garlic as you want, or even if you don't want any garlic, then don't put any in there. Like I say, do what you like. This is your recipe, your food. You do what you like. And it calls for a stick of butter. So here's our stick, and we're going to add that in there too. And I'm going to put a little bit of dry herbs in there to give it a little more flavor, and I like them, so I'm using dry parsley today. As you know, that's one of my favorites. And I'm going to use some dry thyme because that's one of my favorites. And like I said, if you like it, then use it. Use what you like because this is what you're eating, so make it your way. Okay, now that's all that it calls for in the pot. We're just basically doing a dump and cook. So what I like to call. So now we got everything in the pot. Let's go out to the smoker and put it on. Okay, now we're ready to put the rice on the smoker. We do have the smoker up to temp, which we're doing 350 today, and we're going to cook our rice for an hour.
This on the hotter side of the grill, which would be this side over here close to the firewall. Finally get that in there. There we go.
Now we're going to wait and see how it turns out.
Okay, for a protein tonight, we're gonna do some pork chops. I put them in a brine last night. You can see all about brining in our previous episode. And I'm gonna get Katie here, put some seasoning on them, and I'm gloved up so I can get them in the tray here.
Today we're going to use some Rouse's Memphis style barbecue rub on them.
You may remember that from the last episode. We kind of like that flavor profile. Our paper won't run away here. Put these in the tray. We're gonna let them set and just kind of marinate in this flavor in here, all this seasoning until our rice gets cooked for about 30 minutes. That way everything hopefully will come off at the same time tonight and not
Yeah,
run
we're
like
gonna-
we did the other night.
When we go to put our pork chops on the smoker, we're still going to be running at 350, and it's going to take anywhere from about 25 to maybe 35 minutes to run and make the pork chops cook also.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our pork chops on. Let everything kind of finish cooking here together. Again, hopefully it all comes off at the same time, not like my last cook. Get these gloves on, sometimes they can be a pain. Alright, I'm gonna put the pork chops over here on the cooler side. I don't want them to get burnt, so I'm gonna put these set up in here. Bang this down. And we'll just let them cook from here. Quick tip, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're using wood splits and you find it hard to get them to light, set them on top of your firebox. Get them nice and hot. You can see these are starting to get a little crispy and charred. That way when you throw them in the firebox, they will light up and you won't have to worry about all that dirty smoke. Okay, it's time to put a glaze on our pork chops. Today we got a honey barbecue bacon glaze my wife made up using a turkey Egyptian and some honey. So hopefully it tastes good. Get these pork chops glazed up here. Put on as much of this as you like. Some people like them heavily coated. We just prefer them lightly coated. Get them flipped over. Get that other side. Starting to smell real nice in here. Got some grill marks on this side too. Side we had down. While we're at it, y'all don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for future videos. We're going to try to get y'all some as much as possible. Hopefully at least one a week, maybe more. Now we're going to let that sit for about 10 minutes or so. We're going to pull the pork chop and hopefully our rice will be done at that same time. Okay, we're going to check our pork chops. They should be ready to come off. We're looking for a internal temperature of 145 degrees. And yep, we are there. Actually, we might be a little over, but them are ready to come off. So, I'm going to pull the pork chop. She's going to check our rice real quick.
Yeah, it looks like the rice is done.
Now I'm gonna toast the pork chops in.
Ooh, it's all hot and bubbly.
Okay, we got it ready. This is the end result. Our pork chops are done. They're at 145 degrees. Our rice actually turned out pretty good. First time we've done it. Remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll try to get more videos up to you. Got anything to say?
No, have a good night.